Hello and welcome to the Aamir Qutub Show, India's leading show for jobs and careers. If you are looking for your first job, thinking of switching jobs, or seeking the best career guidance, then this is the place for you. To all our subscribers out there, thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, or advice, you can get in touch with us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or you can visit our website www.aamirqutub.com. Presenting Aamir Qutub, CEO of the Aamir Qutub Academy.
Hello everyone. So if you're watching me on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, LinkedIn, welcome on board to today's live session. And in today's live session, I'm going to do it in a bit of different way. So I'll still take on your question and answers, but I'll talk about how to develop a business model canvas for your startup. So that's where we are going to start with. Once we have gone through it, then what we are going to do is that we will take on your questions. So feel free to send your questions in the comment sections. And thank you so much once again for joining this live session with me. All right. So what I'll do is I'll share my screen with you, and then we'll go through what exactly is a business model canvas. So we've got Ramzan Ali from India has joined us on board. Thank you so much, Ramzan. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you how the business model canvas looks like. So if you can actually see my screen here, you can. Beautiful. So this is how a business model canvas looks like. What is a business model canvas? It's basically a one-page business plan that actually helps you grow your business and plan the startup, plan the full journey of your startup in a very simplistic way. So this was actually invented by Alexander Osterwalder, who was a student of Steve Blank, the founder of Lean Startup Methodology. And this consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sections that you have to fill. So you do not have to create like a full report or like 10-page business plan for a startup. You start with a very simple one-page business plan for a particular startup. Let me quickly check if my mic is actually working fine or not. Let me know if my mic is working fine and if you can hear me. I'll just quickly check if I've got the right mic. No. So I think you would be better able to hear me now. All right. So we were talking about business model canvas. So this is the tool or the sheet that allows you to capture your initial understanding of your startup. And this is the most important tool for startups. Now, where can you get this? You can actually go to my website, aamirqutub.com, aamirqutub.com. And once you go to my website, I think my internet is a bit slow here, but once you go to my website, you can go to the resources section over here, the resources section. And in the resources section, you would be able to download the business model canvas from there. So you can locate it over here. This is the business model canvas. You can click on it, enter your email, and you can download this business model canvas. And now I'm going to teach you how to actually fill in this business model canvas. So suppose you have a business idea. We'll take one business idea for example, and suppose that business idea is actually about a laundry pickup and delivery startup. So for example, if you have an idea that you would actually create like an Uber-like service or Zomato-like service or Swiggy-like service, but for laundry. So that's my example. So the very first question that you would need to ask about any startup before you start that startup is, what is the problem that you are going to solve? And in our case, the problem that we are going to solve is that probably people need laundry services, but there's no efficient way, or to get to a dry cleaner, it's very inconvenient to drop off and pick up laundries. And your solution probably is that you are going to develop an application where a person can just sort of request a laundry pickup. A van would come, pick it up, drop it off to the local laundry provider. They will do all the dry cleaning and then sort of like return it back. So probably a model like this. So the way you start by filling the business model canvas is that you actually start by the value proposition itself. So what exactly is value proposition? Value proposition is the value that you are going to provide to your customers. What is the benefit or the advantage that you are going to provide to your customer through your product? So for example, if your app is a laundry app, so if I actually in here I just put it let's say, just say, so if we are designing it for our laundry app, you need to think about what is the value that you are providing to your customers. And probably the value that you are providing to your customers over here is as simple as maybe convenience, because they don't have to pick up the laundry, and then they don't have to drop off the laundry, and they, like, if they need clothes to be ironed, they could do it. So convenience is probably one of the value proposition that you are providing. The second thing that you are providing is probably like a quick service than actually finding a dry cleaner person and getting it done. So another value proposition is quick service. But you also need to think about what is the main pain point that you are solving for them. Like, what is that biggest challenge that you are actually solving for them? And probably the biggest challenge that you are solving for them is that right now there is no proper way. They do not have a central place to ensure that their clothes are ironed and dry cleaned and washed, say ironed and folded, and it consumes a lot of time. So right now there's no service that does that. So the value proposition that you are providing is dry clean, washed, iron and folded on a press of a button, or on a press of a, like, just an, I'll just say press of a button in the application. All they have to do is just press a button, and then you would go there, and your van would go there, pick up the clothes, and sort of take it from there. So the very first thing that we enter in the value proposition itself is the value that you are going to provide to your customers. Now, to the people who are actually watching this, I'll give you a quick homework. Tell me, think about any other startup idea and give me an example of the value proposition. So for example, if I ask you the value proposition for a different idea, say suppose an application that would allow people to sort of buy products, what would be the value proposition of that particular thing? Or an application that would allow people to share clothes on rent, what would be the value proposition for that? And please let me know if you have any questions regarding the value proposition that we discussed so far. I would be happy to take on that. In the meanwhile, let me actually go through some of the comments that we have got over here. Imran Salim Saab, Assalamu alaikum. Nice to see you after a long ride. Professor Dean, Faculty of Commerce. Imran Salim Saab, thank you so much. Imran Salim Saab is one of our very respected teachers at Aligarh Muslim University, one of the teachers that I deeply admire and respect. He has taught me a lot. Thank you so much for attending my live session, sir. And I'm really glad to actually that I'm able to talk to you through this medium. So thanks again for all the hard work and efforts that you put in your audience, students. And I think you are one of those teachers who actually go beyond just the classroom to actually help students. I wish all of the teachers would be like you. Like, we would have a completely different level of education altogether. So, guys, I'll take more of your questions and comments. But if you have any regarding the business model canvas, just feel free to ask me. I'll share my screen again. I'll take all of your questions and comments at the end. But let me share my screen again and let's go through the business model canvas once again. So we talked about the value proposition, and we talked about how you would need to identify what is that value, what is that benefit that you are providing to your customers. Now, the second portion is identifying the customer segments. Now, whenever you are thinking about a startup, you need to identify who your customer segments are. Now, everyone cannot be your target audience, so you need to define who they are. For example, in my laundry business, first of all, the very first customer segment that I would be looking at would be in terms of the money that they are earning. Because if someone is earning less money, they would not likely pay for this service. So they would probably be managing their laundry themselves. So I would say income earners, whatever, say above 4 lakh per annum, for example. That's one of my customer segments. Secondly, I'm looking for probably both working couples. So especially working couples, maybe with kids who are already very busy. So that could be a customer segment altogether as well. Also, maybe people living in regional area has got more access to these services. Maybe you want to target, say, tier 1 and tier 2 cities. So completely up to you. But the thing that we need to be mindful of is that, look, there's no right or wrong answers in a business model canvas. You can have these are all hypotheses. These are something that you are assuming and thinking that these are the right things, but it's not necessary. It's not important that these things would actually work. The reason we are doing this business model canvas is because we are going to test it out in the market, and then once we test it in the market, we'll find whether what we assumed was right or not. For example, one of our value proposition is that we'll provide dry cleaning, washing, ironing, and folding. But you might find that people are not interested in washing and ironing and folding. They are just interested in dry cleaning, or they might are not interested in dry cleaning. Similarly, what you might find is that it's not working couple with kids who are interested, it's probably students who are interested the most as well. So it's completely okay to start with wrong assumption, but once we start testing this in the market, that's when we get the real feedback. Now I'll open up the questions again, and if you have any questions regarding the two things that we have just discussed, the value propositions and customer segments, please feel free to mention in the comment section. Sayed Amjad, your question is about interviews, so definitely I'll take this after I sort of finish this business model canvas thing. We Grow Talks, Assalamu alaikum, hope you are doing great. Aamir bhai, thank you so much. I'm doing great. Nice to meet you. Muhammad Azam Khan, Imran sir, Sayed MFC 12 says, back to see you on this forum. So it's good to actually see students and teachers connecting on this forum. So that's great. Welcome on board. Yunus Khan, how to start online business, idea and business model. So Yunus, that's what I'm teaching you today. So I'm talking about business model canvas in itself and how this business model canvas is actually developed. And sorry, I'll just share the screen again. Oh, that's actually easy. All right. So now we have got Manzar Alam from Aligarh Muslim University. Thank you so much for joining the session. Manzar, Yunus Khan, hi Aamir sir. You were waiting for me, Yunus. Thanks a lot. Ramzan from India. Hi Ramzan, nice to meet you. Faisal Ahmed, Walaikum Salam. Muhammad Azam Khan, AMU, working fine. Excellent. Shoaib Alam from Delhi. Shoaib, nice to meet you. Thank you so much for joining the conversation. And Sayed Amjad, I'll definitely come back to your question. So let's recap what we sort of looked at so far. So we are looking at the business model canvas, and we are assuming we are taking one of the startup, which is a laundry startup. And what you can see over here, right now is that we have looked at the value proposition. So value proposition is how you are going to provide value to your customers. So in this case, it's the convenience and the quick service, and they can get dry cleaning, washing, ironing, and folding on a press of a button. So that's your value proposition. What is the value proposition for Uber? Can someone provide me in the comment section? I would say the value, one of the answer could be value proposition of Uber is that it allows you to get rides quickly on your fingertips. Similarly, what is the value proposition of Swiggy? Get beautiful food at the convenience of your home. That's the value proposition of Swiggy. So what's the value proposition of Paytm? Pay without the money. You don't need to carry the cash anymore. You don't have the challenges with people stealing your money. So just be burden free. Don't worry about forgetting your wallet. So that's a value proposition as well. So the next thing that we talked about was customer segment. It's important to identify who you are targeting, and that's extremely important. So what's your demographics? Either they male or female, either they are working people or students or retired people. Where do they come from? What is the location? India, worldwide? So you need to identify all of these things. That's your customer segments. Now the next thing that we are going to look at is your channels. Now what does the channels mean is that how are you actually going to provide this service? So you are actually going to provide this service, say, using delivery vans. So my delivery van is one of the channels in here, and is apart from that, what other things are the part of your channels? Probably, your delivery bikes could be one of the channels over here. So it's about how you are actually connecting the value proposition with the customer segment. So the value proposition that you have talked about, how you are actually providing that value proposition, that's your channels. So any questions about channels, feel free to ask me in the comment section. And the next thing is the customer relationship. So customer relationship is how you are going to manage and maintain the relationship with your customer. In this case, it's going to be through a mobile application. So we would be developing a mobile application that would actually allow us to maintain the customer relationship. We could probably also have like a toll-free number where people can do pickup. It could be through SMS as well. So these are your different customer relationship channels that you can explore. Now, as I said, they don't need to be right now. Like they don't need to be correct. Once you test in the market, then you will get the feedback that a lot of people are either not comfortable in using mobile app. They want to use toll-free number, or you might get more orders from SMS. So it's about testing these different customer relationship systems and see which one works for you. There's no right answer. I cannot give you a right answer. No one in the world can give you the right answer. You have to figure it out by yourself. So we have looked at the value proposition so far, the customer segments, the customer relationships, and channels. Let me know if you have got any questions related to that. And we are getting some more questions. So we've got a question from Dishan Ahmed, how to create network for business startup. I'm going to definitely answer that question. Yunus Khan is actually asking, Amir sir, I'm asking you, I actually have a business idea. I want to do that online, but I'm confused how to start online. Please answer me, sir. So this is where you start, Yunus, actually. So the very first thing that you do is you develop a business model canvas that provides your answers, and then like just capture all of your business idea requirements. And from there, you develop a minimum viable product. And I'm going to talk to you in detail about minimum viable product in my next session. But what minimum viable product is something small that allows you to test your concept in the market. So if you can tell me what your business idea is, I can actually tell you exactly how to form your minimum viable product. All right. So we talked about customer relationships, which is pretty important. We talked about the channels, which are pretty important. Now, the next thing that is actually pretty important is your key partners. Who are going to be the partners in this? What type of partners would you use? So if I actually have to do a laundry pickup startup, I would never own anything at all. So I will do it like Uber do not own cars. Uber do not own drivers. Uber is just a piece of technology that connects everything. So the key partnership that I will form would be with local laundry service providers, and then local delivery drivers. And the way I would actually form it, the exactly the way Swiggy app is there, where you can actually order food. Someone goes, picks up that food, and uh, just delivers it. Similarly, with this laundry pickup and drop off, I would be doing exactly the same thing. That I will be using local laundry providers and local delivery drivers. So whenever you will do, okay, someone has said voice is echoing. Let me check my mic quickly to ensure. Hello, 1 2 3. Okay, I've got echo cancellation, so I'm not sure why the voice echoing. Let's give it a try like this. All right, so let me know if the voice is still echoing. Okay, so Sanchit is also asking, so there is an idea for offline business, how to actually execute that. It is something related to my father's business. So look, even if it's an online business or an offline business, you actually start with this business model canvas and then you take it from there. And we'll discuss your question in further details after once we complete the business model canvas. So the key partners are pretty important to identify. In there, I've identified two key partners, which is the local laundry service providers and local delivery drivers. Now you're saying it's again echoing, which is pretty strange because it does not generally. Okay, let's see if it is better now. Let me do another thing. Let me just mute myself, and hopefully it should be fine. All right, so now then, once we have identified the key partners, then the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to look at the key activities. So key activities is the main thing that you would be performing as a part of your service. So you would be doing pickups. Pickups is one of the key activity that you need to do, pick up the laundry. The second key activity is actually the actual service. So whatever it is, the wash, or I would say just the job itself. And the third key activity is the drop off. So there are three main parts of this business. One is picking the clothes up, the second is doing the job, third is drop off, and the fourth is actually the payment, making sure that the payment is done right. So these are the four main key activities that we need to focus on. The next thing that we need to answer is, what are the key resources that you would need to develop the startup? So when I refer to key resources, by key resources I mean, what are the main thing that you would need to actually kick this off? If you have to start from today or tomorrow, what are the things that you need? You would definitely need an app that would actually allow you to do it. You probably need app, but you to test it, you can do it without app. You can do it like via WhatsApp or via phone or s- something similar. You know, phone. I'll just say phone, WhatsApp. So that's one of your key resource. The second key resource you would need is, of course, your delivery drivers, which are or delivery or pickup drivers that are pretty important. So what you think is, you think about all the key resources that you would need and you list in over here. Now, do you have any questions on this at all? Uh, If you have any questions, then let me know. We've got Sushant. I'm from Mumbai. Hi, Sushant. Nice to meet you. Mohammed Samir, it's better. Thank you so much. Sushant, you can hear me properly. That's good. After fine, sir, no echo. That's good. Sanchit saying, yes, sir, it's fine now. Can you please repeat the answer to my question? I'll definitely come back to your question in full details after once we have finished these two things. We are just left with the cost structure and the revenue stream, and then we'll open up the question and answer session. So, guys, feel free to send, put in your question and answers, and I would be more than happy to answer them. All right. So we looked at all of these things. The next thing that we need to look at is the cost structure. What does my cost look like? So what would be the cost involved in here? So the cost that could be involved in here could be the cost of app development. That's one cost. The second, and we actually have to estimate the cost of the app development. Suppose it's say 5 lakhs. So you actually have to put the approximate cost that you think. The cost of marketing, how much would that cost? Say 10 lakhs. Then what else? Probably if you are buying the vans yourself, then there would be a cost of that. If you are paying a salary to delivery drivers, there would be a cost to that as well. So you need to decide how you are going to do it, but that's your cost. The most important thing comes at the end. How are you going to make money? Now there are different ways of making money. One way of making money is actually a membership based system. So that's an option. Option one is you can look at a membership, monthly membership, or you could actually charge per job commission, or and then you actually have to mention what do you anticipate being those revenue streams would be. What would that bring you? Would that bring you say 5 crores per year, or what does that projections actually look like? Now this is the business model canvas that a lot of people are actually looking for, and like investors would not invest in your startup. You do not have this business model canvas filled up. So if you don't know where to download it, you can actually go onto my website, aamirqutub.com, go to resources, and then from resources you can download the business model canvas over there. I can share the link of the business model canvas directly with you as well. So I'll do that. All right. So now is the time for me to take on the questions. I'll remove the business model canvas thingy, and I can answer your questions. So guys, feel free to ask as many questions as you have, and let's take those questions one by one. Okay, this is the link. All right, so I'll just start from the start. I'll read all the comments so I don't miss anything. Yunus, hi Amir sir, hi Yunus. Ramzan, we have already talked to you. All right, Yunus asked sir how to start online business. Our ideas and business models. So to start an online business, Yunus, what you need to do is you need to start with a minimum viable product. So a minimum viable product is something that actually allows you to test your product in the market straight away. For example, if you're thinking about say a hybrid grocery store, then and it's probably an online grocery store, for example. So rather than thinking about building an app or something, you could actually test your idea or concept using WhatsApp or a simple website or a simple Facebook page. Once you test that idea, put it out to the market, you will get a better feedback from your customers, and then you, based on that feedback, you actually grow your startup from there. This methodology is called lean startup methodology. Okay, all right. So Sayed Amjad, I had attended interview. I was not able to answer 2 to 3 questions, but the overall interview went well. I answered all questions, but manager told me that he will talk to HR and will contact. They haven't replied. Okay, Amjad, what I would actually encourage you to do is do a follow up, and a follow up could be like to your manager, say hi, whatever his name is. I appreciate you are busy. But I was just following up to see what was the feedback from the interview, and It's just a nice, swift, gentle reminder to check with them what happened, or you can even give them a call. It is not considered rude. Like if you are eager to get a job, it's considered positively. So I would actually encourage you to pick up the phone or send them an email and talk to them. There's no problem in doing that at all. Network for business startup. Okay, so Zishan, the best way to create a network for business. I'll actually share my screen with you, and all right. So what you could do on LinkedIn is pretty simple. You can actually go on LinkedIn, and as you can see my screen, you can search for founders, and just search for founder, and over here select people. And if you want founder from a specific country, you can do that. Otherwise, if you just do founder, you will find all of these people who are actually founders. So that's one thing. That's pretty good. The second thing to build your startup network is by using a website which is called angel.co, I believe, or is it angels.co, something like that. So yeah, angel.co. So this is like the world's largest startup community. You can join over here and you can connect with other startups as well. So I think these are the two good starting points that you can use to build your startup network. All right, Sayed Amjad, I am trying to get more work on Upwork and Fiverr, but I'm not getting any order at Fiverr, and my project proposal are not getting accepted even at low price. How to handle this? So I think the problem is that you haven't put enough portfolios, Sayed, in your or in your Fiverr, and I think the another problem is yet that you do not have any review on that. So what I will do, encourage you to do, is create two $5 gigs or three $5 gigs. Create a different profile and just ask your family or friends to just place an order, deliver an order, and just ask them to provide you a review. So even if you just commit to them that, look, I'm going to return you the money, that's fine. You just have to place the order so that I can get some runs on the board. You need three positive reviews, and as soon as you get three positive reviews, everything else would be easy from there. If you're working for someone for even for free, just ask them to order through Fiverr and say, please place an order on Fiverr, I'll return the money. That's all right. I don't need the money, but I just need that work experience. And I think that should be easy enough to do. Once you do it, you build your portfolio and you've got three reviews. I think it would be much. So let's take on the next question. Yunus Khan, I'm asking you, actually have a business idea. I want to do that online, but I'm confused how to start online. Okay, so I think we have already gone through that. Now, Sanchit Agrawal. So there is an idea for offline business, how to actually execute that. It is something related to my father's business. And I think Sanchit, have you mentioned? Okay. Uh, Sanchit, have you mentioned what type of offline business are you looking at? Okay, so the idea is all right. The idea is of a hybrid grocery store. Okay, so if your idea is about a hybrid grocery store, I would actually go back to my business model canvas, just sort of lay out a plan for what exactly am I trying to do, and then from there, you actually have to, once you have developed the plan, you actually have to start testing it within the market. So first thing that I will do is I will do a market research, and first of all, you have to think about what problem are you trying to solve through this hybrid grocery store. What is your value proposition? What are you providing? And then just ask people that, if I do open a store like this, would you be interested in coming up or signing up or something like that, or in shopping from the store? And if they are saying yes, if you get a lot of positive feedback, do a survey. If you get a lot of positive feedback, then you can get started on it. Uh, and you can actually like establish your own store. So I'm not sure what exactly you mean by hybrid grocery store. If you can provide me more detail, I can provide you a more detailed answer. But for any business, you do the market research first. Once you have done the market research, validated it, then you start by doing it doing something small, and take it from there. I hope I answered that question, Sanchit. But if you can give me an exact details of what you are looking to build, I can give you a better idea. All right, so we got Sushant. Hi, I am from embedded background and having 10 years of experience, and my focus is pharmaceutical companies, but I don't have project or customer. How I can start my startup? So when you say, Sushant, you're planning to start a startup, you need to identify whether you are planning to start your own business or you're planning to start a startup. But because startup is completely different from a business or a consulting business, because a startup's focus is growth, scaling, and where you are actually creating a product that's going to be scaled very very quickly. So the very first question that we need to answer, Sushant, is what is that problem that you are trying to solve? So for example, if you ask me what is the problem that I solve through my business, I will tell you that a lot of businesses are out there who have got their processes, they're all messed up. So I actually help them optimize and automate their processes using digital technology. Or a lot of businesses don't know how to actually sell their products or market their products, and I tell them how to market their products. So I actually help them market their products and sell their products better. So that's the value proposition that I provide, and that's the problem that I solve. So you need to look at, okay, what is the problem that you're trying to solve? Once you have identified that, you can actually start providing that service virtually by registering on freelancing platforms like Upwork, Freelancer, Freelance, Elance, and Fiverr. Just create your profile and start doing that. But also, if you've got 10 years of experience, what you could do is you could go on LinkedIn and you can start networking, reach out to 50 people every day, tell them about yourself, what this is what I do, make genuine connection, and ask them if they need any help. Do first two projects for free, and then you will start getting very good projects very quickly, straight away. All right, so okay, so Yunus Khan is asking, sir, I have one confusion. Actually, want to do business because I very like this. My hobby is reading book, but my family person want me to do secure job. So please tell me, sir, how to convince my family. Bro, it's very difficult to convince your family. I think okay, so the very first thing that I would encourage you to do is, actually I've got a video on YouTube, which is my Joe Stock video, which talks about the exact same thing. I wanted to start my business, but my family wanted me to have a secure job. If I would have opted for the secure job, then I would have never been so successful. And now show this portion to your family members. Just say that this is the live session that I want to show you. My name is Aamir Qutub. I'm from India. I'm from a middle class family in India, not very strong financial background. I did my BTech in mechanical engineering. I was working with Honda cars for 1 year, but that job was not satisfying enough for me. And I felt and I believed that I had the courage and passion to pursue business. Now, no one in my family was actually involved in business. मतलब मेरी फैमिली में दूर दूर तक कोई बिजनेस में इन्वॉल्व नहीं था. किसी को बिजनेस के बारे में कुछ नहीं आता था. मेरे पापा गवर्नमेंट जॉब में थे. उससे पहले मेरे खानदान में दूर दूर तक किसी को बिजनेस का आइडिया नहीं था. बट देन आई मेड श्योर दैट आई गिव इट अ ट्राई. ऑफ कोर्स शुरू में फेल हुआ, कुछ फेलियर्स आए, सब कुछ आया, लेकिन मैंने बहुत सीखा. और मतलब 3 साल में मैं अपना बिजनेस स्टैब्लिश कर पाया. और आज बिजनेस स्टैब्लिश करने से क्या कर पाया हूँ मैं? आई एम एबल टू नॉट ओनली फीड माई फैमिली, बट एबल टू गिव जॉब्स टू अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल फ्रॉम माई रीजन. क्योंकि एक इंसान अगर जॉब करता है तो वो सिर्फ अपना और अपने परिवार का पेट पालता है, लेकिन एक इंसान अगर बिजनेस करता है तो वो सिर्फ अपने अपने परिवार का पेट नहीं पालता, बहुत सारे लोगों की का जो है वो पेट पालता है, अपने पूरे खानदान का जो है वो भला करता है. तो आई वुड प्लीज इनकरेज यू कि आप उसको एक अपॉर्चुनिटी दें. ऑफ कोर्स एक सेफ्टी नेट की जरूरत होती है, बट उसके साथ में जो है वो यूनुस को अपॉर्चुनिटी दें एंड आई एम प्रेटी श्योर यूनुस वुड बी एबल टू अचीव समथिंग. सेकेंडली, ये था कि जब आप लोग पढ़ रहे थे, जब आप लोग जॉब कर रहे थे, उस वक्त सिनेरियो काफी डिफरेंट था. उस वक्त क्या था कि मार्क्स के बेसिस पे जॉब मिलती थी, गवर्नमेंट जॉब्स जो है वो ज्यादातर जो है वो मेनली मिलती थी, लोग एक जॉब में जिंदगी गुजारते थे. अब क्या है कि एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप स्किल्स जो होते हैं इनकी बहुत ज्यादा हाई वैल्यू है, और इन स्किल्स को जो है वो बहुत ज्यादा हाई समझा जाता है. तो अगर आपका बच्चा एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में जा रहा है और अगर फेल भी हो रहा है, तो ऐसा नहीं है कि वो कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड में जा नहीं पाएगा, उसको वहां पे भी बड़े अच्छे अच्छे अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिलेंगी क्योंकि उसने ट्राई किया होगा. और मैंने तो अपनी कंपनी में काफी लोगों को ऐसे को रख रखा है जिन्होंने एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में ट्राई किया, वो या तो सक्सेसफुल हुए या फेल हुए, क्योंकि ये एक अच्छा ट्रेड या अच्छा स्किल होता है. तो होपफुली आप यूनुस को जो है वो इस चीज एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप परस्यू करने देंगे. और अगर आप बंदे को वो चीज परस्यू करने देंगे जिसमें उसको पैशन होगा, तो वो डेफिनेटली अपनी लाइफ में बहुत कुछ अचीव करेगा. हो सकता है वो फैमिली प्रेशर में आके जो है कोई जॉब ज्वाइन कर ले. पहली बात तो अपनी लाइफ में सेटिस्फाइड नहीं रहेगा. सेकेंडली, वो अपनी फील्ड में कभी भी एक्सेल नहीं कर पाएगा क्योंकि वो उसमें इंटरेस्टेड नहीं था. जिस चीज में इंसान इंटरेस्टेड होता है उस चीज में इंसान एक्सेल भी कर पाता है. I hope that would work for you, Yunus. Now we got Sanchit Agrawal. The idea is hybrid against so we have done this. Okay, so Shant, I've answered your question. Hopefully, all right. So we have got Aftab Alam. Sir, I'm a college student and doing engineering and civil engineering, and I want to do a startup in this field. I should be focusing on only civil theory and practical, or I should also learn coding skill and app development as the world moves in this direction. I want to convert civil into a profitable venture. Okay. If you are interested in civil engineering is not going anywhere. It's not just because के अभी app development या coding का जो है चाल चलन है. Just because everyone is talking about app development coding, it doesn't mean that you have to leave your civil engineering and go into app development coding. I was a mechanical engineer, but I went into coding and app development just because I was interested in it and I was passionate about it. And that's why I pursued my passion. But if your passion is in civil engineering, if you like civil engineering, then you should focus not on the civil theory, but on the civil practical. So as a civil engineer, you can also work as a freelancer. So you don't have to learn coding or app development, but as a civil engineer, you need to learn the technology that's enabling civil engineering. So you need to ensure that you are across all the new civil simulation softwares, architecture softwares, civil drawing softwares, because all the work that you are going to do in future is going to be done through those softwares. And if you are proficient in those softwares, it would be much easier to get a job and excel in your field. So to answer your question, your civil engineering can definitely be converted into a profitable venture if you have got the excellence in the civil technology, in the new technologies that are now ruling the civil engineering field. I hope I answered that question. Mohammed Samir, what do you think a startup should focus more? Or is it sales, or is it building a quality product or service? Samir, neither a sales or neither building quality product service. A startup should only focus on one thing, that is listening to their customers and building the product with their customers. It's as simple as that. So the wrong approach is actually spending too much of time in building a quality product and then launching it in the market. That's completely wrong. Just focusing on sales and not listening to your customers is completely wrong. And that's where your lean startup methodology comes in, where you take a product, don't build the full product, but develop a minimum viable product, something pretty simple, put it out to the market. Once you put it out to the market, you listen to the customers, ask the customers about how is this product, how are you going to use it, what are the problems that you're facing, how do you think we should actually develop it. Listen to the customer feedback. Once you have listened to the customer feedback, go back, improve your product iteratively. Just make small changes to your product, push it back in the market, and do it again. And you should be doing it every 2 weeks. So first of all, your initial minimum viable product should not take you more than 3 months to develop. Once you have developed that, you put it on the market, then you should be listening to your customers and then changing your product every 2 weeks. That's how you do the customer building and customer discovery. Once you have done that, it's much easier from there because you are managing both the sales and the quality product service itself as well. Shivanshu Raj, hello sir, how do I start freelancing in coding? Please guide. So I've got a particular video on this about how to get jobs during COVID-19. It talks about how do I start freelancing in coding. But I'll quickly share my screen and I'll show you two websites that would be very useful for you. Number one website is called Fiverr.com. So you could actually create your profile on Fiverr.com and you can start mentioning your gigs. Now, how do those gigs look like? For example, these are programming and technology gigs. So for example, this one, I will design custom eBay store and responsive listing template. So someone has actually put up this gig. For example, if you are a WordPress developer, right? Like you, and you want to start working the freelancer in WordPress, just look at here. Look at some of the good performing gigs. So this one is a good performing gig. This has got 180 reviews. Or even this one is a good performing gig. So just open up that gig and see how that gig is actually structured. Like it has got a nice design. You can actually create this design using Canva, full website creation, blah, blah, blah. And then they've mentioned what are you exactly going to do. So look at that gig, try to copy that, not exactly copy that, but just use inspiration from that. And then you build up 3 packages. But make sure when you start, keep a very low package, probably at $5, and then sort of build your profile from there. So one is Fiverr.com that I highly recommend. The second is Upwork.com that I highly recommend as well. So again, you register and create your profile on Upwork, and then you take it from there. I hope I answered that question. Might remove. Here we go. All right, Sanchit Agrawal, targeting both the type of customers, new generation as well, new generation, meaning that new generation prefer self-service store, whereas previous generation prefers traditional grocery store. Okay, Sanchit, that's an interesting value proposition, but you would actually need to test this concept and see if this concept is going to work or not. And you can actually do it by just setting up a small pop-up store, because if you are thinking that you want to provide like service as well as traditional grocery store, how feasible would it be? So I would actually encourage you, Sanchit, to actually again go to this business model and just fill in these things. What is the value proposition that you are actually trying to solve? What are the customer segments? How are you going to form customer relationships? What are going to be your channels? What is going to be your cost in implementing some things like that? And what is going to be your revenue? Once you have this, you'll have a better picture of how you are going to execute it. And then once you have planned it well, then you can actually go and try it and then tweak your business model. Do not assume that what you are thinking is going to work. It might not work, and there are chances it might not work, and that's okay, because you are going to go and tweak back your business model canvas as you move forward. All right, so okay, what else? Sorry, where are we? Okay, this one has been done. This one has been done. So Shah Sanab, for example, if you have mentioned I can reduce cost, I think that's a great value proposition. So you can actually reduce cost for business. This is what your pitch should be. And what you should do, Sushant, is you should actually go on the LinkedIn and change your title. What I'll do is I'll share my screen. I'll actually jump on your LinkedIn right now, and I'll tell you some of the changes that you should be actually making on your LinkedIn straight away. So Shant, for example, right now your profile says technical lead at Capgemini. What you could do is you could actually change it to the problem that you are going to solve. So you could actually say helping businesses save cost in their technology, or something similar to that. And I see a lot of entrepreneurs actually do that pretty well, like Shreya, one of the entrepreneurs that I work with. Uh, the way she has sort of written like copywriter and content writer, LinkedIn campus editors, and so on. But there would be some other profiles where you would see where they would actually mention helping businesses do this or helping businesses do that. So a profile like that actually works pretty well. Let's see what Sayali has got on her profile. Sally's not got. It's just got 400 cocktail, but you will find a lot of people actually putting things like these. Secondly, if I go to your profile, uh, I think what you should also do is not this one. Uh, Sushant, I think what you should do is you should actually create another experience, which is uh, like business consultant or technical consultant at Sushant's Sana organization or whatever it is. Because right now, when someone looks at you, they won't hire you for freelancing gigs. So it's important that you actually do that. And then you reach out to 50 people every day and make genuine connections. That's probably something to get started with. Also, your LinkedIn bio doesn't mention anything about reduced costs. Actually, you could actually do that as well. Sushant is saying, actually, I have many innovative ideas, but to spend money and time, I want to generate money. That's why I'm looking for a project, and my skill set is embedded C AutoSAR. So again, Sushant, if I go to your profile, these things should be reflected on your LinkedIn profile straight away. Right now, you don't have any bio that I would love to see over here. And then there should be skills in there. Now, my LinkedIn profile is not very well optimized, although I'll show you what I've done. The number one thing that I've done is, because I'm offering virtual keynotes, podcast appearance, webinars, I've added this line. Now, anyone looking for virtual keynotes, podcast appearance, webinars can contact me. I've just written sort of like I've utilized this space so well. The second thing is I actually have a bio that sort of outlines what I've done. In the featured, I've done my like featured section, but what you should do is put up your projects and the stuff that you have done. And then in your experience, you should describe your experience, like what is the work that you actually did with the proper links in there. And then these skills and getting some recommendations on your skills and a accomplishments is actually pretty important as well. So I think you should focus on these things. That would be really helpful. Bhargavi Reddy, how to increase confidence and stand out from other candidates in interview? Bhargavi, I think it's by the very first thing that I would tell you is actually by being prepared. So I'll tell you a story of mine. I went to an interview for Honda cars. My marks were not really well. I was not even eligible for that company. But what I did was I actually studied a whole lot about what is that company, what is their culture, how does that work, and things like that. And can someone give me a name of a company in the comment section? If I have to prepare for an interview in that company, how will I appear? I'll will just mention in the comments. Give me one company to prepare for, and then we'll just go through an exercise to research that company properly. So what I did was I researched that company pretty well. When I went to that interview, first of all, they told me that you are not eligible, and there were people from IIT and NIT, and I could not answer any technical questions. So I actually told them that that's fine. I could not answer any technical questions, but I know what your company does, what are the requirements, and this is what I have done in my past. This is what I've done in my graduation that has allowed me to gain the experience to actually come and in your organization, solve your problem. So if you go that prepared, I think it would be much easier from you. So there two people have actually mentioned TCS. Sorry, Bhargavi, everyone has mentioned TCS. Let's talk about TCS then. All right, guys, this is going to be interesting one. So if I have to prepare for the interview of TCS, the very first thing that I'll do is I'll go to their website and search what that company exactly does. So you need to understand what that company does. It's like, of course, a consultancy services, but what are their particular wings that they provide. So I need to have a very clear idea about that. So I'll look at the services that they are providing. uh, Internet of Things, blockchain, cloud structures, all of these things they are providing. So I'll actually go in there and actually read their website. So you should actually have a full idea of what their website talks about, what are the exact services that they are providing to their clients. The next thing is like, what are the type of solutions that they are providing? Go through the case studies itself in terms of like, okay, this was the challenge, this was the solution, this was the benefits. Now, this is an amazing thing because it gives me an idea of how they approach the solution. So what I'll do is, in my interview, when I'll talk about the things that I did, I'll actually divide it between the challenge that I faced, the solution that I came up with, and the benefits that it came up with. And I would try to think of a project that I did similar to these services. For example, if you did a project, say in automation, or say cybersecurity or something like that, if you're from computer background, suppose you did a project in cybersecurity, go to their cybersecurity and see what are the type of projects that they have actually done. And you can see some of the success stories over there, customer stories. Look at the customer stories and think about a project that's probably similar to that. And then once you explain that project, explain it in a similar way, the challenge, the solution, and what were the benefits. The second thing that is important is actually identifying what is TCS all about. So discuss TCS. So they talk about a TCS advantage. They talk about the leadership. Over here, what I would be probably looking at is the TCS talent. What is they talking about? And then I can see something is called the TCS way. Now, this is going to be one of the keys of the culture. So TCS ways talks about the culture, and they are talking about what? They are talking about agile data transformation. TCS virtual AGM marks on a new beginning, the power of enterprise ageability. So I'll just go through this article and talks about what are they talking about. They're talking about agile in spirit, agile in practice. All right. So I'll just review it further, read it further, and then I'll take these keywords and put it in my resume straight away. And talk about, whenever you're talking about interview, the very first question that they ask you is, tell me something about yourself. And what you are going to talk about is that I'm a person who is agile in spirit, agile in practice. That's where you start from. And the interviewer would be like, what? Like, this person has actually grasped it, but he would be curious and he will ask you, okay, how are you agile in spirit? How are you agile in practice? What does that even mean? And then you will take some examples from the projects that you did and tell them how you were agile in spirit and how you are agile in practice. If you were not, that's fine. Create a story, but prepare for it in advance. And this is the thing that's going to make a huge difference and actually make you different from everyone else who is actually out there. The next thing that I would definitely look at is that the careers, the jobs that they have posted, and get an idea of what are the things that they are actually hiring for. Make sure you actually read through all of the information that's in here. So if you're looking for the graduate program, start your career with global network, what does it talk about, what is the program gives you, all of the things over here. And once I've sort of gone through it, the next thing that I'll actually go through is the news. Where is the news? Probably the blogs. And also this business 4.0 looks interesting. So I'll definitely look at this business 4.0 and what exactly it is. So it's like these are some 4 principles. So again, you read these principles and you actually use these principles in your tell me something about yourself. So whatever that company is doing, just say that you are actually doing that, and that would be really helpful. I hope I answered that question, Bhargavi. Guys, I'll take 3 more questions and then I have to say adieu, goodbye to you. Just 3 more questions. Okay. So
We took the question from Bhargavi. Bhargavi, I'll take second question later on. So Shan saying you are doing great job, keep it up. Thank you so much. Can you please give me some likes and thumbs ups and hearts, guys, and share it with your friends as well. Tag your friends so that more people could be benefited by this. Yunus Khan, thank you so much. Amir sir, thank you so much. Please, this video don't ever delete here. मैं ये अपनी family को दिखाऊंगा. Thank you so much. I hope your family sees this. And look, our families try to help us. Like they are not against us. It's just that they are coming from a different era और ज़माना बहुत ज़्यादा change हो चुका है. We've got Janvi here. Janvi is saying, hello, sir. I want to know how to start with freelancing and content writing. I feel I'm decent but not good along with my first year hectic schedule and tips for time management as I want to do a lot and I feel 24 hours just not enough. That's right, Janvi. We all feel 24 hours is just not enough. Okay, so the very first thing that I'm going to tell you is that you would never be good enough to do something. When I started in my business, I didn't even know about some of those things. So you don't have to be perfect to actually start providing a service because you actually learn on the job. The very first thing that I would encourage you to do is go and create your profile on Fiverr.com because over there people don't expect a very high quality stuff and you can actually get gigs easily on Fiverr.com. So Fiverr.com, as I was mentioning, is a website where you can create your gigs and you can it's a freelancing website where you can get paid to do content writing. So as I can show you, these are all different gigs of content writing and you can actually find one of the gigs and just use that as an like it's copy that and paraphrase that in your own terms. But you in that gig you can write, I will write expert business or investment article or expert whatever article it is, mention the details and start doing freelancing from there. If you are not able to get gigs through Fiverr, I would still encourage you to at least start providing services in free to startup. Just reach out to startup and just say I'll happy to write a content for you, just allow me to write 2 pieces of content completely free. If you like it, then I'm going to write more. So you write one and you write second and then you take it from there. Now if you are in your first year in BTech and you are thinking about this, that's great. Do not give up on this due to pressure of the studies. Don't waste your time in classroom. Don't waste your time in trying to get good marks. If you're getting average marks, that's good enough. Your marks are not going to get you a good job. Your classroom is not going to get you a good job. Your teachers are not going to get you a good job. It is this freelancing stuff that's going to get you a good job. Even if you want to get a good job in technology, that's fine. You start as a content writer now. Start doing technical content writing. You don't have to be good enough, and save that time that you would spend in classrooms. And like, of course you have to go to class, that's fine, but don't waste your further time in just mugging up the books and studying for the examination. If you have attending your classroom, just submitting your assignment, then you should have plenty of time left to pursue your content writing business. Yunus Khan, you're great, sir. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot for the love, bro. We'll take 2 more questions. After all of how can I work as freelancer? I think we have already answered that. Bhargavi Reddy sir, I have an idea to start a startup, but I fear that will not work in the market. Okay, Bhargavi, to test that, you would never know whether your startup is going to work or not if you don't test it in the market. So to test that, I'll do the same thing. I'll actually start with this business model canvas, fill in this business model canvas, and then set up a survey, like a very simple survey on the Google Forms. So what you could do is actually Google Forms is free. So you can create a survey on Google Forms where you can actually ask questions about your startups. This is free online surveys for personal use. You can actually go to Google surveys and create questions about your startups, and then you can send it to the people. There are some pre-ready-made surveys that are there, but you can sort of like just start from a blank. Very simple. For example, this is whatever. For example, if I have to do a laundry startup survey, I would just say laundry app survey. And then I'll ask a few questions, and probably one of the questions, and these questions would actually come from my business model canvas. So if value proposition is convenience and quick service, so my survey question would be, how important is convenience for you uh, in delivery and things like that. If my value proposition is that I want dry clean, people would need dry clean, wash, iron, folded. So my question probably would be something like, which of these services are you most likely to use? Which of these services? And so these services could be, and then you will actually mention these services. Sorry, you choose not multiple chalks but checkbox, and just you add over all of these services over here: dry cleaning, washing, ironing, folding. And once you are ready to that, you can just press on the send and it will give you the link. You can actually copy this link and share it on your Facebook profile and Twitter and ask people or your friends to survey, or you can send them a message and ask them to fill this survey for you. And this will give you a good validation of whether your startup is going to work or not. So that's the very first thing that you have to do, Bhargavi. Okay, Bhargavi is asking how to face tough competitors in the market. The best way to face tough competitors in the market is actually change your field or find a niche in there. So what happens is, if you are going to compete with already established businesses in the same thing, then your startup will never work. What you have to do is you have to find a different alternative way or alternative approach to provide that service, and that's how your startup is actually going to work. Mohammed Samir, does startup requires only new and creative ideas, or existing ideas will also be started? So, Samir, the thing is that there are 5 questions that we ask in a startup. What problem are you trying to solve? Who are your customers? Who are your competitors? How are you better than your competitors? So, are you faster than them? Are you better than them? Are you cheaper than them? So, it could be the same idea, old idea, but it could be executed in a different way that's better than all the people out there. And the 5th thing is, how are you going to make money? If you can answer those questions efficiently, then your startup is going to work. So it doesn't matter whether it's a new idea or a creative idea, even if it's an existing business model, but you can find a different way of approaching it, then you can create a successful startup. Otherwise, with an existing idea and existing business model, you can create a business that's not called startup, that's called a small business, and you can grow it from there. But the growth is small, the risk is small as well, and it's a good way to approach it as well. For example, Enterprise Monkey is not a startup. I started as a small business. Now it's a medium to sort of large. It went to medium, and now it's a large enterprise. It's a multinational company, but it was never a startup because it was a consulting service business, didn't have the capability to scale. But there are some other startups that I've invented that have actually gone from like 0 valuation to 5 million or 10 million valuation in 1 or 2 years. That's what I call a startup. Sanchit has said, my father already has a proper traditional store. So Sanchit, what I would do is, in one portion of that store, I would actually place like somehow divide that store and sort of just test it, or just do a pilot project for 1 week and see whether that's going to work or not. And from there, you would be able to identify whether the hybrid store would work or not. Aftab Alam, how can I get freelancing job in civil engineering field? Aftab, that's a good question. So no matter whether you're from civil or electrical or wherever, you would be able to find different gigs that are there in civil engineering. For example, if I go to civil engineering services, what you will find is that there are a lot of people who have already put in. These are civil engineers who are doing freelancing. For example, Farhan Hasaid has put on that I will do civil engineering and structural design task. I'll calculate and design civil engineering structures. I'll do civil engineering task. I'll solve your civil engineering problem and do AutoCAD work. I'll assist you in civil engineering. I'll be your civil engineer. I'll write technical report related to civil engineering. So many out there. And if you talk about the AutoCAD, if you've got AutoCAD skills, there's so many jobs that you can do in AutoCAD. Similarly, if you look at surveying, there would be so many jobs in surveying as well. So there would be a lot of free civil engineering gigs that you will actually find on Fiverr.com. So go and search, and you will be able to find someone as well. Mohammed Samir, my second question not answered. Please check. Mohammed Samir, I'll see if I can find you the answer. Sanchit Agrawal, stupid question. When can you reply to my DM? It's very difficult, Sanchit, to go through all the DMs that I receive. But if you comment on any of my videos or any of my posts, then I definitely reply to those because it helps me in improving my engagement. So I'm more than happy to respond to your comment. And then when I respond to your comment, you would be other people would be able to get benefit from here. Mohammed Ishtiyaq, proud of you, Amir Ali, brother. Thank you so much, Ishtiyaq bhai. Thanks a lot. Janvi, thank you, sir. Janvi, you are doing an amazing job thinking about doing freelancing in the first year. Please do not give up on this. Like, you are doing an absolutely amazing job thinking about it. Sushant saying, I like the idea to contact 50 people daily on LinkedIn. Brother, it works. It works so well. There are so many people who came to me and say they didn't have jobs. I said, do this for 30 days and come back to me if you still don't have job. They got the job straight away. Thank you, Samir. Mohammed Samir, thank you for all the time and efforts you are putting in sharing your knowledge experience with us. You're most welcome. And it's my pleasure to actually talk to you guys. अरे भाई कुछ फंडिंग दे दो हमें. अरे हसन साहब बिल्कुल डेफिनेटली फंडिंग जो है वो दी जाएगी. अगर आपको मतलब इफ यू आर सीरियस अबाउट गेटिंग फंडिंग दैट आई वुड एक्चुअली इनकरेज यू कि सबसे पहले ना हमें क्या करना है, एक स्टार्टअप पिच जो है वो डेवलप करनी है. उसके लिए मैंने एक बुक लिखी है. आप amirkutub.com पे जाके रिसोर्सेज में उसको परचेज कर सकते हैं. The reason I'm asking you to purchase it because no one values something that's free, but that book costs only 200 rupees. It's a very minimal amount, but the reason I have actually put in a price for this one is because people don't value free things. If I give you this book for free, you might read it, you might not read it. But if you spend 200 rupees on it, then you are going to actually read it, and then you are going to create your own startup. So this is the book, Startup Pitch Playbook. You can buy this book and create your own startup pitch, and then invest to the investors. All right, guys, the very last question that I'm going to take is just one last question. Where is it? Okay, Imran Ali, give me suggestion for digital marketing for startup company for interior work. Okay, that's an interesting one. So, Imran, I'm not sure what interior work you mean by, if you're referring to like an interior work consulting business. Then the best way to do digital marketing is, first of all, you need to have a brand, and you need to have an Instagram and Facebook profile for this. And I would encourage you, whatever interior work that you are doing, every single day, create a video, put it on there, like you doing the job, you actually demonstrating what you are doing. Put it on all of these channels. Instagram, make sure that you're doing Instagram reels. That's pretty important, 15-second videos, and put up the photo of whatever you are doing. And then what you could do is you could set up some small ads to drive traffic towards your videos that you create, so that people could see more videos. And you could use Facebook lead ads to generate more leads for your business. And it works beautifully altogether. All right, guys, thank you so much once again for being in this live session. As I said, if you have got any questions at all, feel free to go to any of my posts, even if it's relevant or not. Just put your question in the comment section. I'll come back to you and I'll definitely answer your question on there. And if you like this video, and if you liked what we discussed, please like it, whatever, star it or heart it, whatever it is. Follow me on Instagram if you're not following me already. Also on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Facebook, because I'm posting different content on different places. So make sure you are following me on these channels and making the best out of what I'm doing here. All right, guys, thank you so much once again. Have a very good night, and I'll see you next week, same time, 9 p.m. Thursday. on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And I'm live every Thursday, 7 p.m. on Instagram. So make sure that you're following me on Instagram. My ID is @Aamir Qutub. Thank you so much. Take care, guys. Let me know in the comment section how was today's session and how can I improve what I'm doing as well. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Aamir Qutub Show. We hope you gained valuable insights. Don't forget to get in touch with us via LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or our website www.aamirqutub.com. Stay tuned for the latest news and insights about jobs and careers. I hope you find your next best opportunity soon. Until next time, goodbye.